Hello there everyone, this is HunterTube back again with the first proper video of 2023 and a video that is not a leftover of 2022. And so I decided for the first proper video of this year, we shall bring back a series that has been dead in the water since 2020. We are bringing back the customs, baby. And for the first spotlight of the year, I decided we'd look at some customs that I made last year and wanted to show off last year, but couldn't due to the fact I wanted to keep season 4 on track and on schedule. Yep, we will be taking a look at the updated versions of me, aka Hunter, Gabe, and Jamison. So let's get started, shall we? But before we get started and take a proper look at these three, there is a little story as to why I improved these three models. Because if we take a look at the original models, which you probably remember being used for absolutely forever, you can tell that there are severe differences between all three of them. Like, you can tell that these new ones are ultimate improvements against the original models, which is why I gave them all upgrades, aka hence the first episode of season 4. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at these three. I feel like the one we should probably start off with is obviously myself. So basically, the only thing different with this model against the original is that I have a better coat of paintwork. So yeah, these three here, were all done in Sharpie paint pen instead of a standard Sharpie marker. So that means the paintwork on these is 10 times better than the originals. Because if we take a look at the original, and it's many repaints it's had, you can see that the paintwork is a lot better on this one than this one here. And yeah, you can see that these darker red bits are no longer visible, which is nice. It's got some better windows as well, smaller windows. The pipe lining is a lot better too. And then we actually have some improvements against the older one. These bits are now painted black, unlike the original. The whistle is now painted gold, unlike the original one, which was just red. The back's like that. Then yeah. And also, over time, the wheels have sort of been scraped off. But yeah, I detailed the insides of the wheels as well. But due to running, the wheels have sort of scraped the paint away. But that's probably like the only thing I'll ever need to restore the paint on these things. Unlike the originals, which had to be repainted every few episodes because the Sharpie marker would keep rubbing off. But yeah, that was the Hunter 2.0. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. If you probably didn't remember, all three of these were based on the wooden My Custom engine. So yeah, one more quick thing is that these versions here, these three, are a mixed hybrid of the wooden model and the book cover, aka the engine on the cover of the books. So like these will have like some details from the books, like the painted bits, like I mentioned here, because like the woodens don't have that feature. So like yeah. Also, this was my mistake. These black bits that point down are actually the handrails. So the handrails aren't painted, but they're sort of off where the doorstep is. The entrance to the cab is instead of the handrails. But yeah, honestly, this is 10 times better than the original, and it has become the mainstay Hunter ever since, starting with Season 4's first episode. But yeah, now let's take a look at the next engine. The next engine we'll take a look at is Gabe, or Gabriel. So this one here has had a fair bit of changes from the previous model. So obviously you can tell it's a brighter shade of blue than the previous one. The 3D face has made a return, aka like the original classic Trackmaster model, which had a 3D face, and then the original TM2 one had a 2D face. The lining on this one is more accurate to the wooden model with the handrails and everything. Yeah, the handrails have appeared on this one. On previous incarnations, I sort of freelanced the lining on this white bit and made it red and sort of freelanced the lining a bit, and there's no handrails. But I decided to make it proper for once and actually do the lining and handrails properly, like the wooden model, which means the handrails are here as well. And here we got the number 99, and then we got the little red stripey things. And then we got some cab windows up here, like in the book. And then I kind of messed up on the cab windows at the back because they are too close together. I strangely did a bit better with the cab windows on the previous incarnation. But yeah. Gabe has basically been properly done right now, with the proper handrails and lining and stuff like he should have had from the start. But yeah, and I also detailed his wheels on the inside as well, unlike the previous incarnation. Actually, I think, no, this one didn't have it either. But yeah, Gabe has had 3 models now, and this is the best one. So yeah, that was Gabe. And lastly, we will take a look at the model that you've had a few previews of in a few previous videos, such as the Q&A extravaganza for 1,000 subscribers and the intro sequence for 2022. It is Jamison. Now, fun story about Jamison, actually 2 fun stories. One is that he was made 2 years before these two. These two were made in 2022. Well, this one was made back in 2020, I believe. Yeah, so there's a few earlier design choices with this one, such as the number 5 being in silver, the round circle bit being in standard Sharpie silver instead of white Sharpie paint with black Sharpie paint lettering. So this bit was done in normal Sharpie instead of Sharpie paint. And probably the best part of this is that it runs on a Trackmaster 2 chassis. Yes, I modified a Trackmaster Classic Scarloli to work on a Trackmaster 2 chassis. Literally, I had to drill out so much of this thing to make it work. As you can see, there's a bunch of Dremel cuts in the cab here, and a bunch of Dremel cuts up there and stuff, and there's the cab windows and stuff, and the black roof, and the 4-leaf clover, and the cab windows, and the hole for the back. And I'm going to open up this front part to show you what I had to do this bit to get it to work. So I didn't really do much to the other 2 pieces, but like the front piece here is just the front footplate all by itself with the other bits cut off, aka the middle bit that joins these 2 together. I tried my best to keep the wheel arches. I only got half of one. Like here we got the piston and the other piston and the buffers. And then the top part, I had to cut off these bits here to get it to fit onto the shell here, onto the chassis. And then the screw just goes into the standard screw hole that the Trackmaster Scarlowe uses. And then here's the chassis. The inner wheels are not painted because this was made 2 years prior due to these two, which were slight improvements. But yeah, here we have the chassis in all of its Trackmaster Revolution glory. Anyway, I'll quickly pop Jamison back together and then we can do the comparison. So yeah, here's Jamison put back all together and it all fits nice and snug together. The only thing is that there's a tiny little gap between these parts. When I was initially building this thing, I was trying to figure out a way to get these to stay together so I could glue it together, but sadly I couldn't. I even cut a few little bits there to try and make it work, but it really didn't work, and I can just see the batteries peeking through. Oh yeah, and also while I was dremeling, I accidentally made a hole in the cab, but it's barely noticeable in episodes and stuff. But like, yeah, we have better glasses as well, and then like the gold, and then the handrails, and then we also have side rods, unlike the original, which had no side rods. And yeah, look at how much better this looks compared to the old one that has been falling apart forever. And yeah, because it's missing a buffer, and the green just doesn't look that great. Doesn't stand out all that great. Just blends in, and this looks miles better than this. Even the glasses look better. I mean, seriously, the roof doesn't even, you can't even tell that the original was green. It looks like black. But yeah. And now it kind of matches the color of the original wooden one. But yeah, that was Jamison. And that was the look at the 3 of the updated versions of us. Hunter 2.0, Jamison 2.0, and Gabe 2.5. So yeah, now for just extra little tidbits that I kind of forgot to mention. If you probably didn't remember, the numbers on our sides, well, me and Jamison at least, not Gabe. The numbers were based on how old we were when we made these. I was 10, Jamison was 5. The original woodens were made in 2014. So that's how old we were when we made them. And yeah, other than that, that's the extra little tidbits. So now let's give these 3 a run around the track, shall we? was the run of the updated versions of the 3 main OCs on my channel. Me, aka Hunter, Gabe, and Jamison. Also, if you probably noticed throughout a few shots of the run, you probably noticed a very forgotten OC of mine, more like underrated, who I tried to make part of the main cast. That being Gino. You probably remember this character from Season 3, and then he only made a few cameos in Season 4. Well, don't worry, I have plans for Gino again. He will be coming back with a major role soon. But yeah, other than that, Gino possibly returning to part of the main cast again, that was a look at the 3 updated versions of Hunter, Gabe, and Jamison. And this is HunterTube saying thanks for watching. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever it will be.